Have you ever carried a past so heavy that you stop believing you could ever be seen differently? You show up where no one else goes, at times when the world is quiet, because you've convinced yourself you don't belong in the daylight. Maybe it's not the same well, but you've been there, where shame lives louder than hope, where you stopped expecting grace to find you. But that's the thing about Jesus. He doesn't wait for you to come clean. He comes to where you hide. And one ordinary afternoon in Samaria, he sat beside a well, not because he was thirsty for water, but because he was thirsty for a soul everyone else had thrown away. Because sometimes the most broken people become the loudest messengers. The sun hung heavy over Sychar, spilling gold over the dusty hills. It was the hour when no one came to draw water, too hot, too exposed. But that was when she came. A woman, wrapped in a faded blue shawl, approached the well, her clay jar balanced on her shoulder. Her eyes stayed low, her steps hurried. She had learned to live like a shadow, unseen, unheard. The whispers of the town followed her wherever she went. 5 husbands, living with a man who isn't hers. She's cursed. She had stopped defending herself long ago. Silence was easier than their stares. But that day, someone was already sitting by the well. A man, a Jewish man. He looked up when she approached, not with the disgust she expected, but with gentleness. "Will you give me a drink?" he asked. She froze. Her heart stumbled over the moment. Jews didn't speak to Samaritans, and especially not to women like her. "How is it that you, a Jew, ask a drink from me, a Samaritan woman?" The man smiled softly. "If you knew the gift of God, and who it is who asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." Her fingers tightened around the handle of the jar. Living water? She had drawn from this same well for years, water that ran out every day. But his words stirred something deep, something forgotten. "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where will you get this living water?" His gaze never wavered. "Whoever drinks this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks the water I give will never thirst. It will become in them a spring, welling up to eternal life." Her breath caught. For a moment she forgot her shame, her past, her reputation. "Sir, give me this water," she whispered, "so I won't have to come here again." The man's eyes softened, knowing her plea was more than thirst. "Go," he said gently. "Call your husband and come back." Her face fell. "I have no husband." He nodded. "You're right. You had 5, and the man you're with now isn't your husband." The air grew still. Her heart pounded. No one else knew this man, yet he had spoken her whole story in a single sentence. But there was no judgment in his tone, only truth wrapped in compassion. She stepped back, trembling. "Sir, I perceive that you are a prophet." He simply smiled. "The time is coming when true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and truth." Her voice quivered. "I know that Messiah is coming, the one called Christ. When he comes, he will tell us all things." He leaned closer, eyes burning with divine certainty. "I who speak to you am he." Time seemed to stop. The woman dropped her jar, the clay shattering in the dust. Her past, her shame, her loneliness, it all shattered with it, because she had just met the living water. If this story stirred something in you, if you've ever felt unseen, unworthy, or too far gone, remember this: Jesus meets people in their hiding places. Like share, and subscribe to Living Word for more cinematic stories where grace meets brokenness and broken hearts find purpose. The clay jar shattered at her feet, but she didn't reach for it. For the first time in years, she didn't feel the need to gather what was broken. She just stood there, trembling. The man's words echoed through her soul. "I who speak to you am he." The Messiah, not in a temple, not in a synagogue, but here, in Samaria, at a well, with her. Tears blurred her vision as she stared at the ground, then back up at him. He didn't look away. He didn't flinch at her story. He didn't walk around her shame. He walked straight into it. And in that moment, she understood something she never thought possible. Grace wasn't looking for the righteous. It was coming for the rejected. The woman turned and ran, faster than she ever had. Her shawl slipped from her shoulder. Her sandals kicked up dust, but she didn't care. The very people she'd spent years avoiding were the ones she was running toward. She burst through the narrow streets of Sychar, shouting breathlessly, "Come and see a man who told me everything I ever did!" Neighbors peered from doorways. Market vendors paused mid-sale. The same people who once whispered her name in mockery now heard it in urgency. Could this be the Christ? Her voice cracked, not from shame, but from hope. And something in her eyes made them follow. Out on the road, a crowd began to form, following the trail of her words. They had seen her broken. They had judged her, avoided her, labeled her. But now, she was radiant, different, alive. They had seen her carry a jar. Now they saw her carry purpose. And when they reached the well, he was still there. Jesus lifted his eyes as the people approached, and a faint smile touched his lips. The disciples watched in awe as he spoke with them, not with distance, but with compassion. For 2 days he stayed in that town, 2 days in a place no Jew would dare step foot in. And during those days, hearts that had been hardened by religion were softened by love. As the sun set on the second evening, the woman stood near the well again, this time surrounded, not isolated. Her once averted eyes now lifted freely toward the horizon. A young girl from the village came up beside her and asked, "Is it true? He really knew everything about you?" The woman smiled, tears glimmering in her eyes. "Yes, every part, and he loved me anyway." The girl whispered, "I want that too." The woman placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You already have it. You just have to let him meet you where you are." Later that night, as the stars stretched across the Samaritan sky, the woman knelt by the well. The same place that once represented her shame had become the symbol of her salvation. She whispered into the silence, "Thank you for finding me here." Because sometimes God doesn't rewrite your story by erasing your past. He redeems it so others can find hope. You may feel unworthy of being used by God. You may think your history disqualifies you from His plans. But the woman at the well reminds us, your scars can become your sermon. Your pain can become the very message that brings others to healing. He meets us where we are, but He never leaves us the same. Because grace doesn't just forgive you, it sends you. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to reflect on the places where Jesus met you, the wells of your own life. Comment, "He met me there," if you've experienced His mercy in your broken places. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Living Word, where every story is a reminder that redemption is still possible, even for those who thought they were forgotten.